So we look at mobile source air pollution. In United States, the highway vehicles such as passenger cars and also trucks producing polluting sources which emits the largest quantities among mobile sources. So dekat US yang paling menjadi pencemaran yang banyak adalah disebabkan oleh kenderaan yang berada di highway lah. So that substances includes nitrogen oxide, NOx, volatile organic compounds, VOC, and precursor of smoke and carbon dioxide. So these are the substances yang contain dalam air di US lah, yang menyebabkan yang berada di highway. And the evolution of US controls on motor vehicle underscores the inherent problem associated with regulation of major industrial sector auto industry. Maknanya dekat sini, US dia punya control on motor vehicle ni menyebabkan masalah-masalah yang banyak lah, masalah yang banyak kepada industrial sector and so on. Okay. And historically, US attempt to control emission from mobile sources have been frustrated by a litany of problems and delay. Menyebabkan masalah dan sebagainya lah. Much of the problem was the law failed to consider the dynamics of the marketplace and the importance of benefit cost analysis. So the benefit cost analysis tu adalah absent. It's absent dalam emission control of air quality di of air pollution di US lah. So kita tengok absence of benefit cost analysis tu. So ini yang menyebabkan inefficient decision rule by the US government lah. Okay, the decision rule used to establish the emission control was not supported by benefit cost analysis in the US lah. So you can look at the figure. As shown in the figure, this is linked to abatement activity that maximize total social benefits, which correspond to the point where the marginal social benefit MSB curves crosses the horizontal axis, where MSB equals to 0. So this bila dia intersect pada point A0. Notice that A0 is higher than the efficient level AE, which implies over-regulation. So this means that regulation ini dah terlampau melebih-lebih. So as it turned out, the 1970 standard were never implemented in their original form. In fact, they were modified considerably. Maknanya standard ini dalam maybe dari segi dalam bentuk kertas atau dokumen, yes, ada. Tetapi secara praktisnya, in reality, dia tidak implement this kind of control atau rule. Jadi ini yang kita maksudkan tadi. So this is the inefficiency lah. Sepatutnya di sini kan, tapi dia berlaku di sini. So maksudnya over policy lah, over control. Sepatutnya ia hanyalah di sini sahaja. Alright. So the second problem adalah uniformity, uniformity of auto emission standard. An ongoing problem with US mobile sources control is that with few exceptions, the emission standards are applicable across the board on every model produced and without regard to where the vehicle will be driven. So maknanya dia hanya uniformity lah, maknanya dia hanya dia punya control ini dia uniform, maknanya dia standard, semua pun sama, semua vehicle pun sama, di mana-mana saja pun polisi ni akan implement sama sahaja. Maknanya it's not quite fair lah, tidak begitu fair kepada setiap jenis kenderaan, bukan semua kenderaan yang menyebabkan masalah pollution ini. Disregard for the location where a vehicle is operated overregulates vehicles sold in relatively clean area and under control those sold in more polluted area. Okay, logically, we assume that marginal social benefit of abatement in dirty area is higher than in clean area, and ceteris paribus. Notice that if the standards AST is the same for both regions, the dirty area is under control because AST is below the efficient level of AE. The opposite holds in relatively clean area where AST is above the efficient level of A. So yang dimaksudkan adalah ya, yang ni lah. Ya. Okay. So this is the dirty area di mana AST less than the efficient standard. Ya. AST dia less than the efficient standard. And clean area pula AST dia melebihi the efficient standard. So this is apa yang dimaksudkan dengan uniformity of auto emission standard. Okay. And then we look at the third problem, yeah, inherent bias against new automobile. Usually more stringent regulation is imposed for new polluting sources. Yeah. And the new and old car are substitutes. Okay, so the example adalah untuk kereta baru dan kereta second hand ataupun kereta yang lama lah, yang jual macam di kat used car tu. Stricter regulation on new car will add to production cost. This can shift supply car to the left. The result is higher price pass on the consumers. Maknanya bila strict regulation implemented kepada new car, dia kan uniform, jadi contohnya new car, siapa produce new car dia perlu lebih mahal sebab regulation on nak kurangkan masalah pollution ini, contohnya tax, government impose tax. Jadi harga kereta baru akan mahal. Jadi menyebabkan supply, satu lagi supply juga akan berkurangan. Ya, harga mahal, jadi consumer pun tidak begitu mahu membeli new car sebab mahal. Okay. Right, so with higher price, consumer opts for used car, which are likely to emit pollution higher relative to new car. Demand for old car will be rise. Nampak tak? So bila harga kereta meningkat, people will not likely to consume new car, so dia akan tengok substitutes of new car which is old car. Kereta second hand ni atau kereta lama ini, dia akan menyebabkan pencemaran yang lebih teruk. Bila berlaku pencemaran yang lebih teruk, masalah tidak selesai lah. Okay. So ini yang berlaku kalau dalam dari segi inilah, dari segi dalam diagram. Inilah So bila ini new car lah, bila government implement uniform control untuk production of car ini, jadi supply of car akan shift to the left. Sebab apa? Cost dah meningkat. Bila cost meningkat sebab dia perlu bayar tax dan sebagainya pada government, cost meningkat, shift to the left, jadi kurang production of new car dan harga akan meningkat. Jadi consumer tidak mahu membeli ataupun rasa mahal. Jadi mereka shift kepada substitutes which is the old car. Jadi demand for old car akan meningkat, to the right. Jadi masalah pollution akan bertambah teruklah disebabkan oleh kereta yang lama, pencemaran lebih banyak dan menyebabkan pencemaran yang lebih serius atau lebih banyak. Okay, right. So we look at the stationary source air pollution. So this is the last part. So this is issue regarding control policy lah. So policy yang government take in US adalah technology based standard. It has no flexibility in selecting how to meet national emission standard. Its more stringent emission limits. If it integrated the technology needed to meet stringent standard more easily. The cost ineffectiveness of the uniform standard occurs at point AO. Look at the diagram. Where marginal abatement cost A intersect with marginal abatement cost B. Total cost of abatement assuming no fixed cost are the shaded area under the two marginal abatement cost curve up to the cost effective abatement location. If a uniform standard is used, the abatement allocation across the two firms would force each to abate equally at E1. And total cost under the uniform standard approach is higher by the triangle area X, Y, Z. So this is the problem of the technology-based standard. So this you can see here lah. Okay. So this is the what we call as the cost, total cost. Okay, of the after the abatement standard being implemented. Okay. Right? Okay, that is the end of this chapter, yeah, air quality. And I hope you try to look at try to find for the references, yeah, to have more understanding on this topic. Okay, so thank you so much.